produced and emptied into the first part of the small intestine. So right after you've left the stomach, you have this area right here that's getting all of these secretions that are going to be super important for the process of breaking things down, the process of digestion. Now, where those substances are coming from are primarily going to be from the liver, the gallbladder, and the pancreas. Okay, so those are really the three main super important accessory digestive structures because of the fact that they're producing things and they're secreting things into the first part of the small intestine to allow the breakdown of food. Okay, this is really where food breakdown really gets ramped up is in after we've left the stomach. So, so the three main structures then, the accessory structures are the liver, the pancreas, and the gallbladder. So you can see them here. I have a big liver. So this right here is the liver. This is kind of how it sits in your body. So this is going to be situated on the right side. So you can see that on your models. Underneath the liver is the gallbladder. So this is a separate organ, but it's situated just underneath the liver, and its function is going to be working hand in hand with the liver. Essentially for digestive purposes, the main function of the liver and the gallbladder that we're going to talk about is the role in production and storage of bile. So what happens is that the liver produces this substance called bile, which is needed for breaking down lipids. And what it does is it'll make the bile, and then that bile will get sent to the gallbladder for storage. And then when you eat a food that is high in fat, then the gallbladder will then basically remove that bile and put it into the small intestine to help break down the fats. So the liver makes the bile, the gallbladder stores the bile. Then the last one, the pancreas, and we're going to go through that whole process of bile travel here in a second, but I just want to make sure everybody knows where these organs are. So the pancreas is located right here. Okay, so here's the pancreas. Liver, gallbladder, pancreas. Okay, and the pancreas is going to be the other one, and this is even more important. This produces a lot more substances. We're going to spend a lot of time talking about the pancreas in lecture because it produces a whole bunch of different things for digestion. Yes, this is the pancreas right here. All right, so we are going to now talk about that pathway of bile, so how that works, how it travels from the liver to the gallbladder, and then from the gallbladder to the small intestine. Before we do that though, a few structures on the liver that you have on your terms list. So the hepatic arteries and the hepatic portal vein. On this model right here, so this is how the liver sits, and let's see, but this is the inferior vena cava that's represented here. Now, if you remember from when we talked about blood vessels, we talked about the hepatic portal system, which was really important for taking things that got absorbed in the intestines and transferring all of those nutrients to the liver to be processed. So there's this whole system where all of the blood from the small intestines goes to the liver, and it does that through this hepatic portal system. So you guys remember the chair? Yeah, okay, so that was all part of the hepatic portal system, which was taking blood from the intestines to the liver. So on here, you can see the hepatic portal vein, which is, again, where it would be coming from is the small intestines, and then it's taking all that blood up here to the liver for it to process it. So on this model, and you do need to know these on here as well as yours, the big model there, but on here, there's only one of these. It's number 10, it's this light purple right here, is the hepatic portal vein. On your models, yours is not numbered. Yours is. So yours has the letter D. This is the hepatic portal vein, is letter D. It looks kind of pink.